I'll be over at 10, you told me time and again, but you're late. I waited round and then I run to the door. I can't take any more. It's not you. You let me down again. Baby, baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home. I'll be beside the phone waiting for you.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Brew Crew Review. We're back after a little bit of a hiatus of over a month here. Again, with me on today's set with episode number 24 of the Brew Crew Review, we've got Chad, Scotty, Mr. Vince Travato, and of course me, E.P. Miller. But what we're gonna be doing on today's show, we got a lot to bring for you. Like I said, last episode we kicked off a few new segments that we're going to be doing on the show. We've got some segment called Inside Miller Park. We've got Stepping Up to the Plate. We're going to fire off some rounds of questions that get our opinions here of us hosts. And then we have fan segment too, which will be on special edition today. We've got a special longtime fan and former Usher Joe Hrovat, who is a great woodcarver. We're going to go and interview him down at his the museum he has in his basement a little later on. But before we get to that, let's talk some Brewer baseball. First of all, fellas, time to play ball. Spring training is here finally.
Yes, it is.
Finally. The Brewers have kicked off the spring, doing fairly well. They're over 500 in the Cactus League so far. They did start off a little inauspiciously on the first day. We had 2 split squad games and we lost both of them. Unfortunately, one of our former minor league prospect profile, Tim Dillard, our minor league pitcher of the year last year, suffered the loss in that one. But he's very resilient. He'll bounce back.
He's from Mississippi. It's a state known for its resiliency, so I wouldn't worry too much about Mr. Dillard.
And I think that leads us into our next topic for today, and that's the Brewers extending manager Ned Yost's contract by 2 years. He actually came into this season in the last year of his contract. And I think it's really important, especially for a team on the rise, for the manager not have to answer those questions as we reach the All-Star break. Or if the Brewers happen to be underachieving for whatever reason, let's say for any stretch of time in the 2006 season, you just don't want that type of thing coming from the media or whatever. Those questions like, is Yost the right man, or is there a better replacement? So we did give him a 2-year extension onto his deal. What do you guys think about this move? Do you think Ned Yost is the right manager for the Milwaukee Brewers to take this team forward?
Well, I know that our colleague Tom Hodgecourt was talking a bit to Ned earlier about his contract status last season. I think it wore on Ned a little bit. When you get to August and September and you're answering these kinds of questions, But Ned is a professional, and I think that he's got a vision, and I'm excited to see what he can do in the contract extension that he got. So.
And I just like what the Brewers are doing. They're rewarding people. They're making commitments. They made a commitment to Brady Clark. They're making a commitment to Ned Yost. They're making a commitment to Doug Melvin. They read my mind. That's pretty good. Right. But, we're rewarding people that have made impact. And I think, obviously, Ned Yost is the man. He's taken a team now to 500 to respectability. He has the respectability of the players. I think he deserves a 2-year extension. And he's still only making a little over $1 million, according to our sources. TC,
Tom Carter.
Oh, Tom Carter.
Tom Carter.
Just
keep it anonymous because
You guys,
Tom doesn't want
Tom actually said Tom Carter told me not to say his name on the episode, so do not say Tom Carter's name for the rest of this.
We're also not supposed to say where he went to college, like the UWM or whatever. We're not supposed to say.
The sort of Panther.
Who also won tonight? That was good. You'll see this a week from now. Hopefully they
It's
win
a
the
UW school in the Milwaukee area called the
Yeah,
Panthers, but we can't say where it's from. I remember the interview that they had with Ken Maka. Afterwards, he said that if he got offered another job, he would take it. And he wasn't interested in the job in Milwaukee unless it was as a last resort, sort of a place where he could earn his managerial stripes. Ned Yost never wavered in his desire to be with the Brewers. He said right away, I want to be with the Brewers. I want to turn that franchise around. I want to go to Milwaukee, where I had some good years when I was a player, and I want to be there for that franchise as the resurgence begins. And when you have a guy that wants to be here, I think that makes all the difference in the world. And I think that it makes a guy like Jenkins want to sign a multi-year deal like he did a few years ago. And that leads to players like Doug Davis and now Bill Hall and hopefully Derek Turnbull and these guys who want to stay in Milwaukee for years to come and produce a winner here and not be worried about any other jobs. Like Atlanta.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I was going to say Atlanta, too. I mean, Ned Yost has already said, I want to stay in Milwaukee. I'm
Right.
not interested in going to Atlanta. He signed a 2-year extension.
Right.
Rumors are Atlanta may want him when Bobby Cobb steps down, but Ned Yost is showing the commitment. Also, another thing, Ned Yost is very highly respected by his peers. Remember, he was on the All-Star coaching staff last year. So
From Tony La Russa.
From Tony La Russa.
Yeah.
So someone in his own division respecting him and giving him an honor like that just shows that Ned Yost is a good man for this franchise.
When you're mentioned as a top quality manager by Bobby Cox and Tony La Russa, I think that's something that baseball experts will take real notice of and sit up and say, wow, this guy knows what it takes to run a major league team. You can see the improved record over the last couple of years when Ned Yost took over in 2003 compared to where we are right now as a potential wild card candidate.
And I really think that you make a good point there, because not only are you looking at, obviously, Ned Yost, he's a qualified guy. He's a really good manager, and that's great. He's not one of the best managers of all time, but he's pretty good. And when you look at our competition, look at who actually has Milwaukee as a number one choice, exactly what you were saying. Who really wants to be here? And I think that that's really important when you look at a manager. Is there someone else that we could bring in that would want to be in Milwaukee that would be better than Ned Yost? And I think no.
Yeah, let's not make it a stepping stone position anymore.
Right.
Well, I think that the pressure is a good thing. I want to be in a situation where we're being considered as a winner. I want to be in a situation where we have that pressure on us to perform well, because when you don't have that pressure, that's what you see in 2002. That's the Jerry Royster era, the not even full complete season, the 150 games or whatever it was, of ridiculous baseball that was played.
Benching Jose Hernandez for
in
a week
2002
just to avoid
it's
negative record.
Right, and it's
Alex
ridiculous.
Sanchez,
You're playing towards the lowest common denominator if you're in that state of mind. I don't think that we can, look towards that anymore as an acceptable solution for the Brewers. And I think that Ned Yost has proven that he doesn't think so either. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that he works well with a group of people that have been around him now since he's been manager in 2003. General Manager Doug Melvin. They would talk. It sounds like they've got a very good relationship where they discuss trades, potential signings, things like that. And they bring in players that Yost knows are manageable. They get Alex Sanchez out of town. They bring in guys that Yost knows that he wants to have on the team, even a veteran like Jeff Cirillo. Guys that are smart, know baseball. I mean, more than that, a guy like Mike Maddox, his pitching coach. That was Ned Yost's decision. I know that the touch is a big thing in Milwaukee right now, and I still feel a tingly feeling from Mike every day. But the biggest thing is,
Are you pitching for Italy?
I turned them down. I know we talked about this.
Well, yeah,
Everybody's backing out.
conflicted with our taping
I backed
schedule,
out of the World
actually.
Baseball Classic. I know.
He asked me for permission, but it conflicted with our taping.
The
schedule
station
for
said
show.
because of my
That's terrible.
contractual status and the fact
Yeah.
that I was being paid quite a bit of money by the
Pedro,
station here, I couldn't
Vince,
do that.
I mean-
So, yeah, I know. It's. I said it was my toe, but
It's a
it
big
was
deal.
really executive producer Mueller.
Well,
In any case, though, these relationships
a
are
breaking
at a point.
story.
They're very important.
Yeah, I think we're really poised to move forward, and I think it does. There's a lot of pressure because I think we're expected to be not only finish over 500, but possibly stay in contention for a lot of the year. So if we underachieve this year, I think there's going to be some backflack for that. So I think that pressure will help motivate us to succeed, and there's no doubt in my mind that we have the right people in the right positions and the right players on the field, gaining the right experience. That I think we're going to make that next step this year, and hopefully, that's why they play the games, that we can come through and be contenders this year.
And I think Sports Illustrated picked this as a wild card team this year. So
Yeah, and a
we're
few
not
different
sleeping on
columnists are
anyone.
paying attention, from ESPN, from Sports Illustrated. There was one with
Harold
John
Reynolds.
Donovan and Harold
Yeah.
Reynolds. Exactly.
So the pressure is definitely on,
Exactly.
and I think that Ned Yost is the right person to keep us as a field manager positive, head in the right direction with the young players, and of course bringing in coaches like Robin Yount, Dale Swain
Right.
onto the staff. I think that'll only help the younger players. So.
Well, and the other thing that you were just mentioning about the positive thinking aspect, that is a part of it. But the other thing is that since day one, when he took over as manager, I've been impressed with Yost's gravity. When he said, we're not going to get too high, we're not going to get too low. The losing streaks are what they are, but we're not going to get depressed by them. The winning streaks are what they are, but we're not going to think that we're the New York Yankees yet either. We want to build a winner because we have this very solid foundation. I think that's the important thing that Yost is trying to bring to the team.
Unfortunately, we got to move on to our next segment.
I just want to say I have complete respect for everybody that was out there waiting in line for tickets, because it was unbelievably cold. Amazing.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so
I'm
there's
sorry.
some definitely diehard fans out there.
A lot of our
so-
biggest fans of this show are out there.
Yeah. So now we've got a special segment, and this is going to be our fan segment. We're going to try to get, fans out in the parking lot in their unique situations or just with their memories, memorabilia. And here's a gentleman named Joe Hrovat, a former usher of 17 years at County Stadium.
And
he
one game
worked
at Miller
the,
Park.
Opening day
Yeah.
at Miller Park. And we had the pleasure of going over to Mr. Hrovat's house where he has quite a bit of a wood carving museum in his basement. Lots of different things, lots of Brewer baseball. He's a huge fan. There are other artifacts too we'll talk about after this segment, but let's go to that now. I want to introduce you to a special fan of the Milwaukee Brewers, and his name, Joe Hrovat. Let's go to that footage right now.
All right, this is the Brew Crew Review, and we're here with Joe Hrovat, and we're in Joe's basement here in West Allis. And Joe has a very unique collection of wood carvings, baseball memorabilia, all sorts of memorabilia, really, not just baseball, but all kinds of things. Joe, when did you get into your hobby, and what is it that brought you into it?
Well, I got into baseball when I started ushering. That was about 17 years ago. I used to watch them on TV a lot, and then I applied for a job, and then I got a job as an usher. And I took interest in baseball ever since then. That's about it.
And Joe, what is your favorite piece amongst your baseball carvings here? Did you have a favorite one that you did, and why is it your favorite?
Robert Young. That was my favorite.
We have a very large wood carving of Robin Yount, which is great. It's got the facial portrait along with a couple other brewers that are nearby. So, Joe, working at County Stadium all those years as an usher, what was your favorite memory at the ballpark?
I enjoyed working there because I met a lot of the ball players. I got some autographs, but after a while they kind of cut down on that. They wouldn't allow you. I had to go out of the park to get an autograph. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow it. So near the end there, I had to stop. I would have liked to have got a lot of them that I got carved, autographed, but I couldn't get them, so that was it.
Did you have a particular game that you remember very well, or a memory associated with the Brewers?
Well, there was a one game here with the president, opening day. That's the one I remember. It was a good game. In baseball, when the president threw out the first ball, I guess.
We were just reading today, I think that was the first time that a sitting president has ever been to a baseball game in Milwaukee.
I would have liked to got his autograph, but I couldn't get near him.
Secret Service is pretty tough. They very limited access, kind of like us. But in any case, do you guys have any other?
I have a question for Joe. Joe, how long does it take you to carve one of these pieces? For example, one of the bigger pieces here, like the Robin Yount one. Yeah, or just a bigger piece here. How long does this take? How much time does it take, an investment time to make a piece like this?
One of these here, it'll take about 3-4 hours.
That's
all
it?
depends. Sometimes I work an hour or two on it, then I get away from it, then I come back to it. It all depends. And when I get down to the final detail, I got to get away for a while because then I lose my patience. Then I come back after I rest, then I have more patience.
I noticed that you have a lot of pieces of Robin Yount, Nolan Ryan. Who are some of your other favorite baseball players that you've seen over the years?
I tried to get Henry Aaron's autograph, but the day I tried to get his autograph, he was too busy. I couldn't get to see him. And Teddy Riguera, I got his autograph one day in the hall. He was walking through the hall, and I got his autograph. And for a while there, he thought I was going to give it to him, but I just asked him for the autograph. I guess a lot of them expected. They figured I was going to give it to him, but no way. Too much work involved. Someday I'll have to go to the ball game, and I'll have to go in and see if I can get him autographed, stand in line with the people. That's the only way you get an autograph now.
Looking through your collection, we also see you have a lot of football memorabilia. We see you have a lot of memorabilia of U.S. history. What motivates you, even the O.J. Simpson trial, you were written up in the Journal Sentinel about it. What motivates you to make a particular piece? What comes into your mind and inspires you to make a particular piece?
Well, I just like to carve something different. Something new comes on TV or some. I just get a notion to carve it. Just to be different. Try to be unique. I try to make something that somebody else don't make. You know. And I enjoy doing it.
Have you ever had any of your pieces appraised? You know what kind of value they represent, or?
Well, I sold a few of them. I had a General MacArthur here, a big head. I sold quite a few to museums. That's where a lot of my stuff goes.
So we have
I got to get a picture of it, then I copy it. I have to sketch it out on a piece of wood, and then I go from there on. I draw it out, and then I carve it, and I have to paint it to match the picture.
I really like the sausage carving here. It looks like, Scott, though you're in last place, unfortunately, in that the Polish sausage seems to be cheating a bit in the race. It seems as though he's got a bit of a head start.
Unfortunately, I did finish last place. I actually have a question also. All of this wood carving is not your only hobby. You even have time for other hobbies. What else do you do?
Oh, I bowl. I do a lot of bowling. I do a lot of dancing. I shoot pool at the senior center. I'm pretty active. I used to play baseball. I played baseball when I was in the service, and then when I come out, I played baseball with the senior citizens. So I always played like baseball. I like sports.
Excellent.
I used to, when I was younger, I used to pump iron a little bit and lift weights. But now I'm losing weight, so I was 15 pounds heavier years ago. You know, now I'm getting up in the age where I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Additionally, it looks like you have a lot of other hobbies too. It says here that you do soap carving and ice carving as well.
Right. I was teaching wood carving at a vocational school, and I would teach soap carving at senior center, and I do a lot of ice carving.
We noticed that, of course, you're a fan of our show, the Brew Crew Review. How long have you been watching it, and is there something in particular that you really enjoy about it?
Oh, I watch you guys every so often when you're on. I think you're on about twice a week, aren't you?
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
I turn Channel 14 on, and I watch you guys, and I listen to you. You know, I enjoy your program.
Good, thank you.
Good program.
Thank you.
Which one of us do you think is your personal favorite of the four?
All of you guys.
That's
It's a good
No, certain one.
a good answer. We have a politician in the making here.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Amazing collection.
Really nice.
Keep
Thank
watching
you,
the
it's
show
excellent.
and go Brewers.
Go Brewers. Yeah, go Brewers.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're back. That was Woodcarver extraordinaire Joe Hrovat, former usher at Miller Park and County Stadium for 17 years. Obviously, he's a very skilled man, as you saw from some of his work there. Pretty phenomenal. What did you guys think of the invitation that we received from Mr. Hrovat to see his museum in his basement there and his wood carving skills?
You know, to say a pun, I mean, they're really coming out of the woodwork. I mean, there's so many diehard fans here. Yeah. There's so many diehard fans, though. This is exactly what we wanted out of this segment. I mean, we want the people that are absolute dedicated Brewer fans that really just take it to the next level. I mean, sure, all of us, you know, well, I suppose we do a show about the Brewers. We might be considered diehard, but I mean, we really want to get those kind of people in there. It's a great segment.
And in fact, if you have something that a story to share, a piece of memorabilia, or some skill associated with the Brewers, like Mr. Hrovat, and want to be on a future episode of us, just to actually give our director of
Propaganda.
of communications, Scotty here, an email at scott@brewcrewreview.com. Let us know your info and what you can contribute to the fan segment of our show, and maybe we can get you on a future episode.
But yeah, that was a great basement. He had an incredible bust of John Jaha. It was huge.
Yeah, wouldn't you think that's very unique? I don't think there's not even the Jahas might have a bust of John Jaha.
I don't think that they do.
mustache.
The other thing that was incredible was the man's 86, 87 years old, and he has a bust that he made of last year's Brewers 500 team. He was, still a fan. He still is a fan, and he's still capable and able to do things that are way beyond, I think, what any of us are capable of.
And I hope you showed his wood carvings of Kenny Rogers. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
The gambler.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
Not
Gambler.
the pitcher, the gambler.
The American presidents
Definitely.
that he had down in his basement. It was an incredible place. A lot of memorabilia.
So we thank you, Joe, again for inviting us to
Thank
your
you, Joe.
home. And
Thank you, Joe.
Keep up the wood carving.
Good luck on the new refrigerator, by the way.
Yes.
And we'll see you down at the park hopefully many times this summer.
Yeah, definitely. So you have to come out and check out a game. And let's move on to our next segment. We're going to the Stepping Up to the Plate segment. And before we do that, we got a little bit of Brewer trivia for you. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Scotty's questions for Stepping Up to the Plate. The one throwing off the questions will be Scott Bartell over here.
How's it going?
And we'll go
I'm just writing them.
around the set. Scott, I told you to get that done ahead of time. But it's all right.
Yeah, I was just proofreading and
So here we go, leading off the
stuff
top
on
of the verse with the first question, Vince Travato on deck.
Shoot.
all right, here we go. I can't read my own writing, but who is first to get called up, Nelson Cruz or Zach Jackson?
I'm going to go with Nelson Cruz. I think we're going to need a bat off the bench because of an injury, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm going to say Nelson Cruz, too, because I think he'll at least get a September call this year. I don't think Zach Jackson will be with the team until probably 2007.
I agree with Kreger's Zach Jackson. I just don't think there's a need for him like there would be with Nelson Cruz. And
Well,
he's more ready to.
Yeah, that was a really interesting question that I was going to
What's
go
your
with.
answer, Scott?
Yeah, Nelson Cruz. I think that Zach Jackson, though, I really think we will see him in September, actually.
All right,
But
In Milwaukee?
sure.
We'll be in the pennant race.
Yeah, yeah.
Top of the second, leading off.
Ta-da.
All right. Okay, who's going to have more homers this year? Jenkins or Lee or Prince?
I'm going to go with Lee because the protection from Jenkins and Prince.
I'm going to go with Lee, too. I think he's due to have about 35, 37 homers this year, which will be still about 5 to 10 more than Jenkins and Prince.
Carlos Lee, because I think he'll stay the healthiest.
All right. Well, this is terrible because that was a very good point. And
What do you expect?
yeah, and I say Lee, and you know what? It's a contract year, and
Oh, that was a good point, too.
yeah.
He wants to earn some money.
Well,
for
and
it.
it's his second year in the National League, so everybody
Yeah.
said, well, you know, he needs a year to get rid of. Yeah. So,
He's
all right,
ready. He's
let's
ready.
go on to the third inning. All right, Diamond Dancers at Miller Park, cheer or boo?
Big cheer. Big cheer. We had a chance to speak with, I know, a few of them earlier.
Which we have coming up on today's show,
They
actually.
actually
We're
coming up
gonna-
on today's show. You'll see
special
some
segment with the Diamond.
exclusive interviews with the
Miller
Dancers.
Diamond Dancers.
That's what we call in the industry a teaser.
Right.
I think that all four of us are going to give a big cheer, actually, if you just want to see
Yeah,
the
like
time
more like a
going
standing
around.
ovation. Yeah, they're definitely phenomenal. So they're Friday and Saturday games are going to be at Miller Park all year around. So check them out. So yeah, obviously cheering Scotty.
Yes. As my friend Barat in Kazakhstan would say, wa wa wee wa. Thumbs up.
All right. Yeah, definitely cheer. Much respect for them today, let me tell you. Okay, fourth inning here. Better team this year, better record. Cubs or Astros?
Astros, not because they're very good, but because the Cubs are very bad.
I think it depends on Clemens. If Clemens comes back to Astros, if he doesn't, Cubs. Of course, that depends on Woods too.
You can't do that.
Fine, Astros.
Astros, they had the scrap iron Phil Garner.
Yeah, I honestly, I think there's no way Clemens is going to be back in an Astros uniform May 1st. All
Top of
right,
the
this
fifth.
is rapid fire, so we're going to go fifth inning. Eveland on the opening day roster, will he be in the majors or AAA?
Good question. AAA.
AAA, no doubt.
They might need a left-handed arm, but the way he started, I'm going to say AAA.
I think there's a chance that he can make majors. I'm going to say AAA because I want him to pitch more. He'll just be a situational lefty if he
We have
makes the
Justin
roster.
Laird, too.
Right.
He's right-handed, but yeah,
Yeah, but we like him more.
we do like him.
Okay, sixth inning. Now this is a tough question, but at what number of wins this year would you consider the season to be a failure? In other words, what makes this year a failure? Like, how many games do they have to lose? Or
I'll go with 81. I think that we cannot finish 500 this year. We have to finish better.
okay,
I think if they finish with under 81 games, it's got to be considered a failure. Yeah, that's my answer.
They're still young. I think more understanding is needed. I think if they finish under 75 wins, it would be a failure. I didn't look at your sheet.
That's
I
not
don't
what
have my
Vegas
glasses.
says.
no, but 75 was the number that I was picking just because I think that I think that our rookies actually might need another year. And when I say rookies, I do mean Weeks along with Prince. And in some ways, I really still see JJ as a rookie. So, but yeah, seventh inning. Speaking of Ricky, how many stolen bases does he get this year?
23.
I'm going to go with 32.
I'll say 24 because it's the 24th episode of the Brew Crew Review. Yeah,
All
it's my
right.
favorite TV show.
All right, I said 30 because I used round numbers. So, eighth
That's a
inning.
Good policy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, eighth inning. Let's go.
Eighth inning here. Old logo for all games next year. The retro logo. Would you approve it or not?
Can't live in the past.
No. I mean, I do like the Sunday ones. That'll be fine, but not all season. We can't go back. I mean, if we want to bring back winning ways, let's just move to the future. I mean, we already brought back Yount, Swaim. I mean, we don't need the old uniforms back. They may look better, old memories attached to them, but let's start a new tradition with the new ones.
It sells money, but I'd say just new uniforms altogether. Maybe find something new because it's a new era.
And I would have said no, and not only that, but I don't even like them on retro Sundays. I liked them for turn back the clock, that's about it. But even on Sundays, if they were to use a mix of the old logo with the new, like they kind of said they were gonna, I would have been happier with that.
Let's move on to our next segment, and this is a special one. Each month, or not each month, but each episode, every few weeks, we're going to bring you a new segment called Inside Miller Park, where we're going to go, there's all that activity, not just the Brewer game going on, which we're going to bring in plenty of interviews, of course, this year, but a lot of other things going on within Miller Park, all the inner workings of the stadium. We're going to try to bring that to you if we can this year. And we're starting off with a special feature from a new edition last year, and that was something called the Miller Diamond Dancers. This was a group that used to be the Admiral's Ice Angels.
First
for
it
the
started as
Milwaukee-
Ice Angels.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
only 6 of them.
And they approached the Milwaukee Brewers prior to the 2005 season about possibly being part of activities at Miller Park. And so for last year and also for this upcoming season, they perform at and inside Miller Park on Friday and Saturday home games. So, I'm sure if you attended games last year, you've seen them. So, again, we got the opportunity to go to this year's auditions, which are held on March 4th at Bally's Victani, which is their sponsor. And we got a chance to interview some of the girls and also the directors of the Miller Diamond Dancers and ask them about kind of get a little feel for the whole experience. So we've got some clips, some interviews with some of the girls, the directors,
Tough assignment.
some really,
Tough assignment.
obviously nerve-wracking footage of them in front of the judges performing, trying to make the cut, make the team, the Miller Diamond Dancers. So
I'd also like to just take a quick opportunity to extend a warm thank you to them for being so kind and hospitable to us tonight. We were welcomed with open arms by the ladies and
Brianna
by their coaches.
Julia.
Yeah, they were very kind to us, and we really appreciate it. And hopefully you fans enjoy this new segment. We started off this show saying that this is a show by fans for fans, and we're going to try to show you a few different sides of the whole baseball operations department at Miller Park. So enjoy the experience.
All right, so this is be quite a long segment here, and we'll be back with you to wrap up the show after this. But enjoy, once again, the tryout auditions for the 2006 Miller Diamond Dancers. So enjoy. All right, we're here with the Brew Crew Review, and we're here with one of the directors of the Miller Diamond Dancers, Julia. Julia, can you tell us a little bit about the Miller Diamond Dancers, how they got started?
Absolutely, a question we get often. We actually started 2 years ago, so this will be our third summer dancing for the Brewers. And we did a performance for them on the field, and we approached them, asked them if they were interested and if they liked what they saw. Obviously they did, because we're back. Then we began dancing for them. Our first summer we danced for a small handful of games, and now this summer we'll be dancing for many more, so we're very excited for the season to start.
So you formed the group first and then approached the Brewers about the possibility of doing it at Miller Park?
That is correct. We were dancing for the Milwaukee Admirals. We were called the Ice Angels at that point in time. So we already had a group together, and when we performed for the Milwaukee Brewers, it was something they wanted to try, and felt we were professional enough to do something throughout the park for games.
So do the girls also still the same team and squad also do the Admiral games as well, or just the Milwaukee Brewers games?
We are just doing the Milwaukee Brewers right now.
And how did you get involved in the group initially, and how long have you been involved?
I've been involved for 3 years. This is my third year now. Okay. I was dancing in college, actually working in Virginia Beach. I moved back to Wisconsin and found this group and got involved right away.
Sorry, you're from Wisconsin originally?
I am from Wisconsin originally, yes.
Okay, where in Wisconsin?
Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
Okay, so a neighbor to here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So what do the girls usually do to prepare for a season, and then during a normal home game, what are the responsibilities? How many times do they perform in front of a crowd?
Sure. The girls do a lot to prepare for the season. It's not easy to make, obviously. They need to get physically fit first, so with Ballet's obviously being our sponsor, that really helps. So they'll work out at the gym. Practices start, they're on Wednesdays and Sundays, and we take them through routines every practice. We schedule workout time so they have the opportunity to work out during practice time as well. They prepare mentally, emotionally, and it's a commitment. So it's sometimes tough to juggle work and school and dance all at the same time, but they do a wonderful job.
So do most of the girls go to school? Do they work, or where do most of them come from?
We have a large mix. We have girls who are in school. We have girls who have professional careers. It's kind of all over the board. You have to be 18 or older, so we find we have a younger and an older crowd that come audition. Okay.
And so do they perform at every Milwaukee Brewer home game? Obviously, they have 81 home games during the season. Do they perform at every one? And at what point of the game? Is it during the 5th inning? Is it during the 7th? How often do they perform in front of the actual crowd?
We do not perform at every single Brewers game. We perform at just a selected number of games that the Brewers want to have us at. And what we do is we perform at the game opening, and then we do promotions throughout the whole entire game. And our finale is the kick line on the dugouts during 7th inning stretch, and that's usually when we end for the night.
Okay, so during the course of the game, do they do a lot amongst the stands or on the concourse?
Yes, we help with promotions. We're kind of all over the place. Sometimes you'll see us tossing T-shirts. Again, between our performance to kick off the game and then the performance on the dugout during 7th inning stretch, we're doing all kinds of promotions to help the Brewers out.
Great. And as our viewers can see behind us, some girls are practicing to get ready for auditions. Today is the tryout day or auditions for this season. Do you hold these auditions every year? And if the girls are already on the team from the previous year, do they have to try out again? How does this system work?
That's a great question. We had 105 girls come today at our auditions, which is wonderful. It's a lot of talent to choose from. We take a team of 25, and everybody has to re-audition. So we really don't hold spots, which is great because it continues to push people to be their very best. And
what attributes are you as directors looking for girls to select? Obviously the top 25 out of more than 100. What are the traits that you're looking for when you make a decision?
We're looking for girls who obviously have the technical and dance ability to do the routines, but more than that, we're looking for personality, a positive attitude, somebody who's willing to commit and really work with the team. That's very important to us. Also someone who can remain professional in all different types of situations that we're put in. They are interacting with people all the time, so it's really important that they have great personalities and they're ready and willing to handle themselves, whatever comes their way.
And I think you said we're about an hour away from you guys making this year's decisions on who's going to make the team. How do you relay this information to the girls who have been waiting, either already auditioning, waiting to hear whether or not they made the squad? Do you call them all up in the room upstairs and announce names, or how does this work?
That's a great question. We have selected judges here today, and those judges actually select our team. And when the auditions are all over with, they are actually the ones that come downstairs here and announce our 25 team members, and they all come up and we congratulate them, and we get our season started from there. So.
Okay, that's great. Well, this sounds like a great enterprise you guys have got going here, and I know that the fans at Miller Park, we do a monthly show about the Milwaukee Brewers. I know the fans at Miller Park love the whole entire experience at Miller Park, including what the Miller Diamond dancers have brought to Miller Park last year, and I'm sure they'll be looking forward to it again this year. So once again, thanks, Julie, for the interview, and we'll look forward to seeing if we can maybe talk to a few of this year's team members once the selections have been made. So thanks again.
Sounds great.
All right, count it down. All right, this is Vince Travato here for the Brew Crew Review. We're here with Jeanette and Nikki, two members of this dance team last season. Ladies, tell us a little bit about your experience at Miller Park before, and what are you looking forward to this season?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm hoping to make it because we're in the process of tryouts right now. But last year was a lot of fun. We were able to perform right before the Brewers game started. And we also do a little performance on the dugouts during kind of like the, when they do the polka and things like that. So it's a lot of fun.
What about you? What was your favorite highlight from 2005? And how many years have you actually been with the dancers at the stadium?
I've been with the dancers for 3 years. I first danced with them for the Admirals, but now it's for the Brewers. My favorite part probably is just being able to dance up front more, because we used to be way back in the outfield, and it's like nice to be with a connection with the audience. So.
What's funner, hockey or baseball? Either one here. You guys, you have to be honest though.
Overall, sports overall.
Yeah.
It's a very political answer. Very political answer here. All right. So, what are you looking forward to in 2006? What kind of changes are going to happen? And is there anything that's actually during the game, the course of the game, that's going to change too in the routines?
They're stepping it up. We're taking a lot stronger girls, a lot stronger dancers. We're going to be doing a lot of things during the game, promotional things, handing out things, in the stands, kind of interacting with the crowd a lot more.
Yeah, and it's good to have a new team and meet new people and just get to connect with the girls. So.
Yep.
How many girls actually were on the team last season?
I'd say about 20. There are about 20 girls, and this year they're taking 25 because there's a lot of girls trying out.
Now, what is your background in dance? How did you get interested, and how did you get interested in sports dancing in particular? For the Admirals, for the Brewers, and I'll start with you over here.
I first danced at a studio for 12 years, and then I was on Palms in high school, and I decided to try out for a sports team because I go to a tech school, so they don't have a dance team. So I figured it was the only way I could still stay with dance. So.
And what about you, Jeanette?
I've been dancing since I was 6. I've taken studio lessons for about 8 years. Cheerleading, dance team in high school, and dance team in UW-Whitewater College. So I'm just want to keep up with dance.
Now, I know that both of you are big Brewers fans since you're, on the dance team at the stadium. Who is your favorite Brewer, and tell us what you think about the Brewers' chances in 2006.
Last year, my favorite brewer was Lee. He just seemed like a cool guy and a very good baseball player.
Fair enough.
I agree, Carlos Lee is my favorite, and I just heard that they're supposed to be very good this year, so it's going to be exciting to see.
Hopefully you're all dancing in the playoffs. Is that kind of the expectation? All right. Well, once again, we're here with Jeanette and Nikki, and thank you very much. Good luck with tryouts for the rest of the day today, and good luck in 2006. All right. This is Vince Travato with the Brew Crew Review. We're here with Josie and Patty, and we're here at the dance tryouts down here in the gym. Ladies, how are the tryouts going, and what are your expectations for this year?
The tryouts are going pretty well. I can say that for myself at least, and everybody's trying really, really hard. So I think we're going to have a great team this year. Whoever they end up picking, it's going to be great.
All right. And were you two both on the team last season?
Yeah, Patty and I both been on the team for a couple seasons now. Not quite sure. It kind of blends all in.
All right. So what are your favorite memories down at the stadium? Do you actually get a chance to watch the games? And, what are some of your favorite highlights from doing this for a few years now?
It's such when we're working, all of a sudden it's like, it's 9 o'clock at night. I mean, we get there at 5 and all of a sudden the game's over with. And it's kind of a bummer because I think we all have a great love for baseball. And, we enjoy watching the game just as much as anybody else. And we're excited when we're up there. But then we get done and it's like, oh, the game's over with? What happened?
So what's going on?
They keep us pretty busy.
But you're both Brewers fans and you're both baseball fans. Who's your favorite player and how do you think the Brewers are going to do in 2006?
I've heard good things about the Brewers in 2006, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big sports person, being a girl and stuff, but I do like the.
Girls can be sports fans too. Wait a sec.
I'm just like shopping and stuff. No, but I like Carlos Lee. He's pretty good. You know, and Overbay. I like the O.
Overbay got traded though.
He got traded.
He's with the Blue Jays now. You can't do the. Well, you can do the O. You can do the O, but you just can't do it at the games. I'm sorry.
People are gonna look at that girl and be like.
Who's that dancer with the big O around her hat? Either way, though. So, okay. So, Lyle Overbay was one of your favorites. He was a really nice guy, actually. But
They're all very nice. We don't get a whole lot of interaction with them, but the entire the Miller Brew, the Miller Park Brew crew and all those guys, they're very nice to us. We have a great time. It's been a pleasure working with them.
And what kind of changes do you two see around the ballpark for this season, or with your team in particular? I mean, is there going to be some differences in what you did in 2005 or 2004?
We're going to be more involved, I hear. There's going to be a
more.
lot more interaction with the crowd and stuff like that, so we're really excited.
We've been in existence for a couple years now, and it takes a while to get the crowd to realize that we're even there. And now that I think they kind of know that we're around, they're definitely asking for us more, and we're going to give them anything they want pretty much. So.
And I'm not sure if you two know the answer to this, but I read in the paper that this was actually the first time Major League Baseball has used dancers like this. Do you know if that's true? And if so, is that,
Yeah, the second time. We're the second Major League dance team.
Who's the other? I should know these things.
It was in Florida. I know it was a Disney thing. That's all I know. It was in Florida. Yeah,
I don't know. I
Disney
heard-
put it on with the Astros.
Well, it's a first for the Brewers, so this is exciting for all of us. Well, good. Well, good luck to you for the season, and we're looking forward to seeing you around in 2006. Good. Nice to meet you too. Thanks a lot.
Hi, this is Scott from the Brew Crew Review. We're coming here from Bally's here in West Dallas. We're actually here, looks like a bunch of people here are actually trying out to be part of the Diamond Dancers. And we're here with one of us now. And what is your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. And how did you hear about this?
I actually went to a different dance, Spirit of Hope, which is a dance thing. They had audition papers there, and I found it there, and so I thought it was something really cool to do.
Okay, excellent. And let's see, do you have any other, let's start with this. Where do you go to school?
I go to Cardinal Stritch University. I'm a freshman there.
Okay, excellent. And what do you think, well, you already had your tryout, right? How do you think that went?
It went pretty good. I messed up a little bit, but everybody does a little, so I think it went pretty well, though.
Okay, were you nervous at all?
Very. I've done a lot of other tryouts for high school teams and my college team, and it just seemed a little more intense than those, so.
Okay. But would you say that you were far more nervous for that than this particular interview?
Yes.
That's probably a good thing. Okay. Also, what do you think? What do you think actually makes you stand out? I mean, there's so many different people here. What do you think actually? What do you have to offer that you think you should be a Diamond Dancer?
I think you should be one of the interview people up there asking the questions. You're so good at it. But I think that I can bring a lot of commitment and support to the team. In high school, I was very committed to my team, and I think that's a really good aspect to bring to a new team. So I like to dance.
Okay. And as far as tryouts, what did you do? What did you do to prepare for this?
Nothing. Really, I stretched this morning. Other than that, my team season ended early, so I haven't really been dancing much. So I stretched a little this morning, and I talked about it with some friends, carpool, but I hadn't really practiced or anything.
Okay, for our viewers at home who really don't know much about tryouts for dance teams, do they give you a set routine, or do they ask you questions up there? Just give us a brief walkthrough of what they do.
Well, there's over 100 girls here this morning at 12:30, and we learned part of a small routine. They cut right away. We learned it in half an hour, and they cut in 2 groups, and then we learned another one, and they cut again, and then we got to the hard one, and they cut again, and now that's where we are now. And we go up there, perform the routine, they ask you some questions, do some kicks and whatnot, and that's it.
Okay, so basically what you're telling me is that you've been here since a little bit after 12, and you've now been here for almost 7 hours.
Yes, I'm extremely hungry, and I was supposed to be to work at 4 o'clock.
All right, I think that's about it. I'd like to really thank you for the opportunity and for the interview, and back to you, Craig.
Okay, we're here with Brittany and Ashley, and they're trying out for the Miller Diamond Dancers, who are going to perform at Miller Park. I guess Brittany was on the squad last year, and Ashley is here trying out for the first time. Let's start asking Brittany, what was your experience last year? Did you have to audition last year? And what did you think about being on the team? Was it a lot of fun, or what was the best part about it?
Oh, it was a blast, everything. I made such good friends, and the performing in front of all those people is just thrilling. It's so much fun. Like, you just bring so much out of it, more than dance. And dance is a big part of my life, and meeting all those people, and just everything we did was just amazing. It was the best year of my life.
Well, that's really good to hear. So did you start at the beginning of the season last year, and did you was there a tryout like this last year that you attended?
Yeah, I started 2 years ago and tried out for the Brewers, and then we did the Admirals and then the Brewers again. So last season I actually went off to school, so I'm back again for tryouts. But yeah, every season there's a tryout for winter and for summer. So.
Okay, and where did you go off to school?
I go to UW Oshkosh.
Oh, okay, great. All right, and Ashley, this is your first time doing this. First of all, how did you hear about the auditions today?
Well, I'm friends with Brittany, so she told me all about it, and it sounded like a lot of fun, so I decided to try it out.
Okay. Explain. Have the girl, besides your friend Brittany, of course, how have the girls here been treating the girls that are returning, or the new girls here that are auditioning? Have they been very welcoming to you? Or, is it very competitive, or is it really a laid-back atmosphere? I mean, are you nervous, or what's the situation?
Well, it's definitely very competitive. It's a lot more stressful than I was expecting, but everybody's really, really nice, and they're all like welcoming me and everything. So it's fun, but it's very stressful, and I'm ready for it to be over. Actually.
Okay, and what do you think of the after you get on the team? Are there certain people, the directors of the Miller Diamond dancers that you work with? Is it Julia and Brianna? Okay, so are those the two main directors? Do you work with them throughout the year? Do they do your routines? Explain to me how much you have to practice over the course of a season.
We practice 2 nights a week, and then we have performances on Friday and Saturdays. And if we don't feel prepared enough, we'll throw in another practice. But yeah, Julia and Brianna make up the choreography and do all of the behind-the-scenes work, and they also dance with us throughout the season. So we see a lot of them. So they're constantly with us. So.
Okay. And is there are you required to go to every Friday, Saturday home game if you make the squad?
Yes, if you have something else going on, like a wedding or a funeral or something that you can't be there, then, we'll pull you out of the routine, but it's not that big of a deal. But it is better for a team if you make everything, so.
Okay, and another thing, besides dancing together at the stadium, do you guys perform other events? Or beyond just performing, do you guys form friendships? You hang out outside of dancing? Explain to me some of the girls that you've met here last year on the squad.
Oh, every single girl. We go out to dinner after performances, or we've had a Christmas party at one of the girls' house, and we'll exchange gifts. And we do a lot of things outside of the performances, and we do appearances. We'll do like breast cancer benefits, or we'll perform at dance competitions, like high school competitions or college competitions. So we're not just doing Brewers, we're doing many, many other things. So we're constantly on the go.
Awesome. And tell me, how did you recruit your friend to come today?
She was on high school dance with me, so I brought her along. She's good.
Awesome. Well, good luck to both of you for making the squad this year, and I guess we'll be finding out within the half hour here who made the team, so good luck to both of you, and again, thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him. He knows the code, it's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up. Let's go. Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, now the picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds. The skill living naughty. This is 20% skill, 80% beer, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, this dude is the truth. Now everybody giving them guest spots and stocks through the roof. I heard with that stock.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Yeah. Fort Minor, M. Shinoda, Styles of Beyond, Ryu, Top Beer, Machine Shop. Let's go!
All right, this is Chad with the Brew Crew Review. I'm here with Jackie, who fortunately made the cut today. It was a very rough day. There was about 105 people here. And how many people got selected to win?
25 girls.
25 girls. Can you just describe the process today? I mean, we were here today, and I was very amazed by what all went on. If you could just quickly describe your day for us, please.
Well, first of all, we started off with a little bit of stretching. About 50 girls came up at a time. They taught us a routine, and we all kind of auditioned at the same time. They made cuts. We did it again another time with a different routine, and then it came down to to the last 50 girls, and we learned another routine, and then we auditioned 3 at a time, and then they picked the top 25.
Have you been on any other dance teams before this?
Yeah, I was on the Splash a couple years ago. They were affiliated with the Milwaukee Wave.
And how was this tryout compared to what you had with the Wave? What was this more intense? Was this more difficult? Was this more strenuous than you thought? Was the competition better?
Yeah, this was definitely a lot more strenuous. Before it was just whatever was in the company at the time just did the Splash, and this was a lot more strenuous.
What does it mean to you to join this team? I mean, you're going to be performing every Friday and Saturday, correct?
Yeah, it means so much to me.
it's just an experience of a lifetime.
Can you describe what are you going to anticipate on a Friday or Saturday night Brewer game? Tickets have been going well. You're going to be in front of 30, 40,000 people. How is it going to feel? Are you going to be nervous? What's your mindset going to be going into that?
There's always a little bit of nervousness. It's overwhelming at first, but I think as you keep going, you'll just become more relaxed with it as time goes by.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we appreciate it, and congratulations, and we'll see you at the park every Friday and Saturday. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you very much.
That was a very special segment that we're going to be bringing to you all year long called Inside Miller Park, and this happened to be the audition tryouts for the 2006 Miller Diamond Dancers. What did you guys think about the dedication and the commitment of the girls that showed up for the tryouts and the ones that made the team?
You know, I was really impressed. I mean, behind the scenes, I've seen the Bucks Pom Pom squad, but I never really appreciated the effort that goes behind it. I mean, these girls are really giving it their best effort, and they're very good athletes in their own way, and there was a lot of spirit and determination, and I was very impressed. It was nice to see what all happens behind the scenes, and again, I appreciate them for letting us be behind the scenes like that. It was very nice.
You know,
I gained a whole new respect for them.
I want a special thanks to a few of the directors of the Miller Diamond Dancers, and that's Julia and Brianna, who allowed us to come there and do a special segment on the dancers. And they were all very dedicated, very much into their craft. And I think that they really did want to just, entertain people at Miller Park, and that their heart was very much into the dancing part of it. And it's unfortunate that there's such a competitive thing that some people just don't make the cut.
Well, that's like any sports team, though. And these women are professionals in a way. I mean, they're very competitive. And
in a lot of ways, this is their sport. This is a sport for them.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And just like the 2006 Milwaukee Brewers, I believe that the Miller Diamond Dancers are going to have one phenomenal year, too. This is going to be one of their best years. They have very bright future, lots of top prospects that I could see.
Lots of prospects.
Definitely.
Lots of prospects.
So, anyway, that's our show for today. Stay tuned for our next episode. We'll be bringing our season preview episode. We're going to talk about some of the where we think some of the teams in Major League Baseball will finish in the standing, including your very own Milwaukee Brewers. And we'll have a fan segment next episode, too, where we interviewed some people waiting in line all hours of the night at Miller Park to get opening day tickets when tickets went on sale. So stay tuned for that. And again, I remind you to check out our website at brewcrewreview.com. We want to get into our fan emails. I know we have a lot of them backlogged we have to get to, but again, we like to pick out the best ones. So if you want to send in any email questions that maybe we could answer on the show, email those at chad@brewcrewreview.com. If you have, once again, any information on interns, or you can contact Vince at brewcrewreview.com. And once again, Scotty, if anyone wants to be on our new fan segment email Scotty at scott@brewcrewreview.com.
Director of Recruiting and Show Development.
Yeah.
Right here.
That's right.
Style.
And microphone.
That's why they pay you so much, Scott.
And any other show suggestions, go ahead and email to me at craig@brewcrewreview.com. So again, thanks for joining us. Again, special thanks to Joe Hrovat for letting us in his home and showing us all his great wood carving skills.
Thanks again, Joe.
And again, our extreme gratitude, of course, to the Miller Diamond Dancers.
I think a lot of fans are going to be excited about them this season.
Yeah, they definitely have a great, talented squad this year,
very
no
much
doubt. So, all right, until next time, go Brewers, and remember,
stay classy, Wisconsin.
but you're late. I waited around and then